Super excited you guys are here today. You're really in for a big treat today. Yeah, if you don't know Future Farms, we're the best agriculture solutions company there is. In a massive treat because we're gonna take you to our global strategy meeting right now. Hopefully it's not too exciting now. Follow me. All right, team, ready for our meeting today? Let's get down to business. So we already know, guys, we're the best vertical farming and agriculture solution company there is. Next step to that is just make it happen. Matt, you've been working on our mission statement. What do you got?
Yeah, definitely. I can bring that up for you. It's mission statement. So we want to create a profitable and self-sustaining means of farming, from farmers to families to individuals. That is our mission.
All right, team. Next, we need a vision statement. Who's got one?
Make sustainable farming viable for all.
So right on, but we're on a roll, team. Next, we just need our core values. Who's got it? Who's got it? Huh? You.
I got it. I mean, we could be just really helping, building, and strengthening core communities.
That's what I'm talking about. Let's go, C-Love. Let's go.
I got you, Chris. I got you. Yeah.
We're on a roll, guys. We're on a roll. Value proposition. We're changing lives. How are we going to do that?
I got you, Chris. Just creating a way for farmers to increase crop yields, profitability, while becoming equally as sustainable. Anyone is capable of producing their own crops with our vertical farming structure.
Perfect. Now we just need our goals and objectives. What you guys thinking next?
Okay, so financial goals right here. This is what we're gonna get in profits by 2020. And then after that, hopefully we'll have a positive impact on world hunger and give out 1 meal a day for free in 2020.
Free meals. I like it, Tim. Alright, guys. Next, we just need our strategy. I say for our strategy, we need to enter 10 countries by 2020 by offering our vertical farming to farmers seeking not only increased efficiency, but also sustainability through partnering with current agriculture distributors so that we can reach the individual farmer. What you think?
I like it.
Alright, now guys, let's move on to our global strategy. As all of you know, it's a contingency plan. We're doing that in order to have the ability to adapt and adjust. So everyone has an assigned country, already done research whether we're going to be going to those countries or not. Let's get to this part of the meeting.
Sounds good.
So now let's hear about Puerto Rico. Matt, just give us your recommendations, whether you think we should or shouldn't go into the market.
Absolutely. So I'm going to give my recommendation based on the political environment, economic environment, cultural environment, and the competitive environment of Puerto Rico. In terms of the political environment, Puerto Rico is a U.S. territory, so it shares much of the same politics as the United States does. They are a democratic country modeling most of their government like us. Since Puerto Rico is our territory, our president is their president as well. So basically our leadership structure is the same as theirs. They've long been considered the unofficial 51st state, but they've been voting to become the 51st state. However, that's still in Congress, so it's not been official yet. Alright, so in terms of the economic environment, Puerto Rico is currently $70 billion in debt. Hurricane Maria did not help their economic conditions, and they are focusing their resources on recovering. Agriculture constitutes about $808 million US of the island's GDP, so it's a pretty sizable industry. We can definitely work our way into there. About half the island is agricultural land, but our industrialization and a deficient agricultural workforce has really reduced the agricultural sector, so that's something that we definitely have to look out for. The total amount of agricultural workers is 36,000, which is about 3% of the workforce. Again, that's been dwindling down. In terms of the cultural environment, most Puerto Ricans are really family-centric. They're really hospitable. They really like being optimistic. Competitively, we don't really have any competitors so far. Like, nobody's doing like vertical farming in Puerto Rico, so that's definitely our area of expertise.
Thanks again, Matt. Now, let's hear from Jamaica. Tim, what do you think?
Political structure of Jamaica is definitely in need of some water and energy conservation. They've been running on imports for the past couple decades, and it's made the economy take a turn for the worst. Most of their exports are mainly agriculture and mining minerals, which is very low income stuff. The socio-cultural aspect of the country is they're conservative, but they are comfortable with weed, so there's that we could sell there, but they also have had prohibition years, you know. Technologically, it's not the best place, but at least we know that market is unsaturated because no one else has done vertical farming in this area. And the farmers would be very grateful if we entered this area because, you know, we wouldn't have to rely on drought or anything like that, you know. And competitively, like I said, the only thing we would have to worry about is gaining the trust of the locals, which wouldn't be too bad, as long as we help them out with, you know, keeping them there and supporting them in their businesses. Other than that, we're definitely in good shape to enter this market. We're the only ones who have thought of entering this market. No one else has vertical farming in this area. So.
All right, so I hope you guys are ready. I'm going to tell you about Cambodia and why I think we should or shouldn't enter this market. Politically, Cambodia is a parliamentary democracy with a monarch, so the people and the government share power. We're going to have to work with both if we want to enter this market. Specifically, there are weak property rights and vast corruption in Cambodia, so potentially can pose a challenge for us. But pro side of this is that the government is very much for the agriculture sector, and because of that, all of our agriculture equipment will not experience any import fees. Economically, the economy totals 59 billion. Half of the total budget actually comes from foreign national aid, so the government itself is not super strong or stable, but the economy has grown 7% last year, and specifically the agriculture industry composed of almost 27% of the GDP in 2016. Culturally, Cambodians are very family-centered. Religion is a big part of the society. Their religion has been developed from a mixture of Hindu and Buddhism. Agriculture is also a big part of the culture. 78% of Cambodia's population lives within the rural areas, and around 45% of the total labor force is employed by the agriculture industry. So women account for 70% of that employment. So from a cultural stance, it only shows reasons why we should enter the market. Competitively, right as of now, farmers are looking for more advanced farming methods, but to the degree of our vertical farming, there's no competition. Farming methods have slowly been adapted, and that it is a good time, and that if we do want to take advantage, we do have to enter the market soon before those methods are switched. Aside from that, Cambodian agriculture saw high growth rates, but much of that had to do with the expansion of land. So an opportunity for us is to increase that efficiency, as there's a great need for that presently. The best way for us to enter this market, being our mode of entry, is going to be through strategic alliances with small and independent farmers. This way, we're not just going to be giving our products to corporations, still going to benefit the individual. To actually reach these individual farmers, we're going to be making agreements with the government, partly because the government is not a democracy, how it still does remain partially a monarchy. That influence will be instrumental in entering the market. So I do highly recommend it. It's only a matter of time before other agriculture solution firms enter this market and take advantage of the lack of industry and technology. I highly recommend it. Alright, well that's enough about Cambodia. Now let's hear from Andres. What are your recommendations for Uganda?
So Uganda's a pretty developing market. Some political and regulatory issues with entering the Ugandan market might be that a lot of foreign investors can't hold a freehold estate, meaning they can only lease out properties. They can't actually own it themselves. If we look at the economic standpoint, a lot of foreign-owned businesses are allowed to partner with Ugandan without restrictions. Looking at the economic standpoint, the government incentivizes people for industrial development. So that's going to be a giant pro for vertical farming because it's an industrial development that will increase the value of the country's production of agriculture. Looking at the social culture part of it, 75% of the households' income derived mainly from agriculture, meaning that's a giant sector in that industry, and we have a lot of room to grow and a lot of opportunity. Technology-wise, Uganda's agriculture is primarily old, is rudimentary still. So being the first ones to enter that market as vertical farmers will give us a giant advantage because these systems, old rudimentary systems, still need a lot of improvement. Competitively, the agriculture industry hasn't grown much in Uganda. It's only grown 1.1% in the last few years, which is a slowdown. So that means that we can improve that with the vertical farming. Some mode of entries that I've been thinking of is a strategic alliance and licensing the product. So for strategic analysis, we feel like is the best option for our mode of entry because partnering with local farmers gives us an edge. It allows us to be partnered with better versed partners. They know how to deal with the local authorities, know how to deal with the bureaucracy there, and local partners. It makes it a lot easier. Strategic alliance is more better versed partners, and they know the ins and outs of it, and will allow us to create greater profit on the long term.
In our team, last but not least, United States. Charles Love, take it away.
Yes, I mean, I think we're really pretty set for the U.S. I mean, it is one of the more developed countries in the world. One of the main weaknesses I say we have is the inconsistency in marijuana laws, but I think we can combat that with just starting off more agriculturally based, reaching out to local farmers at farmers markets and having them be one of our main stakeholders in the company rather than big corporations. So that way we don't enter the Red Sea, rather the Blue Sea of like specialized organic crops sold at farmers markets instead of like competing with like Dole and Green Giant, you know, things like that. I think the management style will be more of like a flat structure in that way that anyone that is in working with someone else can feel free to talk to them rather than feel scared of talking to your boss just because it's your boss. I feel like you should be able to complain if you want to complain and not feel that your job's threatened. And then back to the opportunities in the states, I think each one will be set based on their crops. Like California will be wine and almonds and marijuana eventually once the laws are set. Idaho will be potatoes. Tennessee will be corn, and then so on and so on based on their crops. I think that's about it for the U.S.
All right, great meeting today, guys. Good job to everyone. Let's get a break. Oh, yeah.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again, because a vision softly creeping left its seeds while I was sleeping, and the vision that was planted in my brain.
I just wanted to draw. My man. Started giving out orders. I'm leaving.
This motherfucker Chris, like, he just came in with too much energy. I'm just trying to get paid, and he's over here talking about like, this dude came into me after meeting, like talking about like opportunities and like stock options and shit. Dude, I'm just like, dude, can I get my paycheck? Like, I got bills. I need a break.
They just had me filming the whole time. I was filming Chris, Tim, everyone. I'm the camera guy. I get no credit here.
Man, dude, I'm gonna be honest. When they told me I was gonna go to Puerto Rico, I thought it was for vacation. I didn't know it was a business trip, man. Like, I was just enjoying myself, honestly. I didn't know I was supposed to research like farming and you know, like, I didn't know. I thought, man, I had to use Wikipedia for my project, man. Alright, whatever.
So we just finished our global strategy meeting. I have to say, I'm pretty thrilled. I'm pretty sure that everyone is on the same page. Couldn't have been a better meeting. I mean, everyone's stoked to work here. I'm pretty sure this is how Steve Jobs felt before he started Apple. I'm just telling you, we're onto something here. Like, giving out stock options soon. We're gonna make it. Mama, we're going places. I swear to God. Let's go.
This video is brought to you by Future Farms Agricultural Solutions.